To you, Linda Kuchle. Earlier we heard from the President that aircraft are going to take off in the next few minutes, I understand.
Well, that's right, Gareth. As you can see, in fact, behind me, we are near the counters where some of those officials going to, Wuhan, at the epicenter of what is known to be, of course, the origin of the virus. But what we are doing right now was just observing some of the officials. And in fact, I'd ask my colleague, Ditiros Lepe, to show you just next to me is one of the bags that, it's one of the trolleys that has the luggage of some of the officials that are going there, some from SANDF and some from the Department of Health, but they are set to board and go to Wuhan. As far as you understand, the President did say that everything has been set and it's all systems go, particularly with the interactions as well as some of the communications they've had with their counterparts that side, particularly the government in China.
Help us understand the timeline of this repatriation of these South Africans, Linda, because this is not going to be a holiday for those officials going over. They're going over, getting these South Africans and coming back. When are they supposed to be back in South Africa?
Well, the timeline that they have said during that briefing was about 10 days. It's certainly not going to be a holiday. In fact, the President did say jokingly that he does thank them for actually heeding the call, but he says that they actually had no choice because the chief in command, or rather the commander-in-chief of the country, when he says that they must go, they must heed the call. But certainly they have their work cut out as far as we understand. But one of the things that the President as well as Dr. Zweli Mkhize did want to reiterate and put out there to the public is that they are not bringing people who are sick, and they're saying that all of the South Africans that they are going to take, 120 or so, are healthy, and that they will ensure that there's a proper screening process even when they get this site, and that South Africans must be at ease about certain rumors that might be going around that some of them might be sick, and that they were at a proximity close to Wuhan. So they're certainly saying that everything has been taken care of and they do not foresee any hiccups in terms of this rescue mission, as we call it.
Let's talk a little bit about those numbers that we're talking about, some 122 South Africans coming back. Linda, I know you've been covering this story for some time. The original number was close to 180 requests for South Africans to come back home with the government, but that isn't the case. Some people choosing to stay behind. Do we know why?
Well, we haven't been briefed about that. In fact, I was hoping at that briefing that we'll get a sense of the number of people that are being brought back, but and why that number has dwindled, as you had put it, Gareth. But unfortunately, we didn't get that information, and it's something that's on the background. While that briefing has been completed, we are working on to try and get a sense of the number of South Africans that will remain even after this rescue mission behind, and as to why the reasons are behind that. But certainly, one of the things that we have been told by the Minister of Health, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, was to say that those who do in fact want to come back, they have to contact the embassy. There are processes put in place to ensure that those who want to come back do come back, and they are saying that the batch that is coming back is after the call from some of the guardians as well as parents, particularly a large number of them being students. They are saying that they're heeding that call, and they will be in fact heeding such calls in the near future to say those who do want to come back, they will be coming back. But of course, they have sent a team to ensure that those processes run smoothly in terms of those that in fact have chosen to do come back in the country.
All right, from OR Tambo International Airport for us here on Nightline, Linda Kuchle, Ulu.